Welcome to this live stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of you who are joining live or watching this on the replay. This video is to introduce you to the Embodied Feminine Leadership Academy and the Embodied Feminine Embodiment Coaching Certification. I feel so excited and have all the feels to share this today with you, and it will be a bit of a longer live stream, so feel free to watch it whenever you have the space and time. So this is for all of you who might be interested, who are following me for a while, or maybe are new in the space and want to see where I'm going to continue my work in this year and also in the future. And also for those of you who are interested in becoming a feminine embodiment coach. So all of you who are perhaps coaches themselves, or therapists or healers or teachers in any kind of form, and who desire to live and coach from a more feminine but also more and deeper embodied space. So I think this is something I really would love to see in the future and desire to see more in our spaces on the market. There is, I think, a great portal at this moment where there's a lot going on in the coaching industry. We are all called to a deeper embodiment, to like our greatness, but also to more integrity in the field. There's a lot going on in the field of sacred sexuality and all of the traumas that have been coming up over the last years, but also the shadow sides of it. And at the same time, there's a lot going on also in the world of femininity, feminine embodiment, where I feel we all are called into, the next level of our own embodiment, and also the next level of our own leadership, and how that looks like for all of us individually. And for me, it really looks like creating this body of work for other professionals, mainly, even though everyone is welcome in my world. Really, with the Feminine Embodiment Coaching Certification, creating a platform for professionals who want to take that next step. Somehow, always in my work, since I started, I always naturally attracted leaders in my life. It's been often, the yoga teachers who came at the beginning as I started to teach yoga classes, other coaches, other therapists or healers, women who've done a lot of work in that field or in other fields, who were attracted to this deep feminine work. And I believe this is the case because it is an important piece of the puzzle that is missing in a lot of the spiritual world, but also self-development world, and in the world of coaching. So there's a lot of coaching happening on a lot of other areas of our lives, but this major piece, what is actually the essence of who we are, is very often missing. So this is my contribution. With the Embodied Feminine Leadership Academy, so the first program that will run is the Feminine Embodiment Coaching Certification, but I'm planning in the future to actually let other programs that probably come, so that's my vision, run under the Academy. So we really have a platform to come together, to support and to share and to really do this together, because this is really how I believe this is going to happen in the future. And I also see in this academy and also with the Feminine Embodiment Coaching certification, maybe even now in the first round, but also in the future, that there will be more women than just me being involved. So, with that having said, what is the Feminine Embodiment Coaching certification? So the Feminine Embodiment Coaching certification is a 4-month intensive training for coaches, for therapists, for healers, for teachers who want to deepen their skills in the field of feminine empowerment, but also in the embodiment arts. And what does that mean is to first of all really embodying the tools that we are teaching ourselves. So I don't believe that we need to have gone through all the things that our clients have experienced in order to hold them. We don't. However, the way we are anchored in our bodies helps them and gives them a permission and a permission to anchor in their own bodies. So this coaching certification really supports you first and foremost as a coach to drop in, and from that place to guide your clients in their own body wisdom, because there's so much available, and all that, you know, all the questions that we often ask ourselves are actually deep in here. And I believe it is really a revolutionary method to create long-lasting changes and really deep inner healing and transformation for people. I've seen that with myself going this path now for 10 years. Yeah, it's been 10 years. First of all personally, but then also professionally over the last 7 years. And I've seen that over and over again. When we come back to our bodies, and it sounds so simple, and it has so many different nuances, this is where all the wisdom lies. So the Feminine Embodiment Coaching certification will really deeply work with all the aspects of the feminine and also with all the aspects of the embodiment. I actually made some notes so I don't forget what I wanted to say. Let's continue with the embodiment part and how embodiment is different, for example, from simply approaching the mind. So for me personally, mindset coaching or talking therapy has its place and is great and is valuable. However, there is a layer missing that, you know, I often have the feeling when only my mind is being addressed, I can receive the information. Sometimes I'm even but I can also get overwhelmed. And I feel, okay, there is some shifts in my mindset that I can do, but there are actually deeper layers that, you know, I can understand, but I cannot feel. So the approach that I'm going to teach you is all about coming back into that felt sense in the body and really exploring these tensions and these tender places that are there, expanding our pleasure and really, you know, guiding our ways, our lives, but also our coaching practices from our own embodied truth, and helping to bring that to our clients. So So that there's a difference in between only addressing the mind and addressing the mind and also addressing the body. So both is different, and from my perspective, important to really create healing and transformation at the deepest subconscious level. We cannot do this with our minds. It's simply impossible, and I have seen over all those years a lot of transformations, a lot of people who've done, you know, years of therapy or other methods where you know, the embodiment part was really the missing piece. So that's how it is different. And of course, addressing the feminine, so feminine embodiment coaching, really speaking to women in a way that addresses how our nature, our bodies, our hormones, our sexuality, our history, our imprint collectively is different than men. You know, this is one part. This is one part that it addresses when I speak about the feminine. And first of all, addressing really the difference of that, and really bringing in the quality of our feeling state, of our heart as women, of our emotions, of our vulnerability, but also bringing in our divine connection. So really bringing in deep healing on the level of the mind, the body, the heart, and the spirit. So it's like a holistic approach to offer deep transformation. And at the same time, when I talk about the feminine, it is for me an energy that is slowly starting to come back into this world. And it is an energy that we've been missing for a very long time in all different aspects. It is something that, from my perspective, starts to come back on this world through us as women, because we have the easier access to it. And not always, but generally speaking. And you know, when we connect with that energy, and I know many women who often feel like, you know, like, I have everything in my life, and you know, like, life is great. I have a job, I love my job, I love my family, I love the place where I live. However, there's one piece that, or something that's missing, where you can't really point your finger on. And this is very often, from what I've seen over the last few years working with so many women, is the feminine. And we're gonna explore that, what that means in depth. So the Feminine Embodiment Coaching certification will include the topic of our womb, of our feminine sexuality really as power, our connection as women on this earth, and how we can guide our clients into this deep embodied trust in ourselves, trust in life, and really move through life from that deep inner connection. It's a leadership from within. So what I believe we're going to see in the future more and more and more is really like a completely rewiring of what leadership looked like, what we've learned, you know, to always go and do it. And you know, what is from my perspective a more masculine approach, and more into an embodied service, So basically there's not a separation anymore also of who you are as a woman and who you are as a leader, who you are as a mother, who you are as a partner, who you are as in your business and your work. There's no difference. It's like one thing. So the feminine in all of her different aspects, not only the nice and pretty and light one, but also the dark feminine, the shadow side of the feminine, and the mystery of the feminine. And you know, one of the things that I learned over the last 2 years over and over again is how important safety is for deep inner healing. And there won't be, you know, I've been really aware of the spaces I've been putting myself in over the last 2-3 years, and also reflecting a lot on the spaces I've been in before. And you don't know until you know, and all pieces are part of the puzzle. However, there is, you know, healing can only happen if we can hold a safe space for ourselves and at the same time a safe space for our clients. It all starts with us. So, and safety is so important, because otherwise it is easy for us, you know, maybe you had experiences with other coaches or teachers where, you know, people telling you what to do and what is right, and it's almost like they know, but they don't see you, they don't feel you, they're not curious about your inner world, they're assuming something and they think they know. And this can create, and other parts can create, a lot of not feeling safe, or, you know, that you may be approaching things, or your client approaching things, and you might not be available for this, or we kind of like reflecting it back on them rather than becoming curious about it. And it often, and I don't know about you, but for me, I often had that feeling of like, oof, is there something wrong with me? And I see this with a lot of women. You know, it's often the question of women, like very much, is there something wrong with me? You know, like, why don't I get this? So the topic of safety, this is just like a small piece of it, but the topic of safety will be such a big piece of how to hold yourself in safety as you coach, and how to hold your clients with love and with safety, so that they feel they belong, and at the same time, you know, they feel seen and they feel heard. Because this is often the greatest gift you can give, and it sounds so easy, but it is not. So, of course, as I'm coming from a tantric approach, like the feminine embodiment coaching certification will be highly influenced by that, because it offers just such a beautiful roadmap to life, and you know, addresses really the feminine body, the aspects of the feminine, the womb, the connection to the goddess, and of course also coaching in a way that is trauma informed. So trauma informed for me means that we are aware of how trauma is developed for ourselves and for our clients, and at the same time, you know, how can we create spaces to, you know, not re-traumatize ourselves or others. And this is not about perfection, but this is, I feel in this moment in time, the deepest healing work that we're all doing right now. We're all doing the deep trauma healing work. I've been doing this over the last 2 years super intensely, even though I've done so many other things before. And yet it was a piece that was missing, and that I know so many of us are, you know, asked to do in this moment. And I feel it's also our responsibility as coaches in this moment to educate ourselves about this and to learn more about this. And it will be a very, very important part of the Feminine Embodiment Coaching Certification. How to coach trauma-informed, how to hold a safe space for your clients, so that, you know, you also not need to be the savior, you know, because women have that. Women have this very naturally, that we feel we need to save our clients, we need to, or over giving, right? We need to do more. It's not enough what we are doing. We need to do the session longer, give more, right? Like, these are all very often actions that come from a place of trauma. So what makes this coaching certification different than a lot of other coaching certifications for me is really the embodiment part. And what does that mean is that you are going to practice all of the things that you're going to share, to coach, to teach to your clients. It is really about you having an embodied experience of what it feels like to be in that place, in order for you to hold that space in your body, feeling the present moment, feeling yourself, feeling your client, and really being able to notice what is happening for you and your client at the same time, you know. And it is so nuanced, it's so subtle, and yet it makes such a big difference, and people can feel it. So this will be really the huge difference that I see in a lot of other certifications missing. And I think also we know, you know, the coaching mark is not what's the word? The coaching mark is not regulated. So basically there's no regulation of, like, you know, everyone can be a coach, everyone can coach, you know, and there's nothing wrong. I don't believe that we necessarily, you know, need more and more and more educations and certifications. So be really aware when you're interested in this training as well, to see where's the place that you come from as you step into that. However, there is, you know, I've been doing this work for so many time without you know, having like a proper education. Well, having I had a lot of educations, like self-educations mainly, and over the last 2 years I've really been dropping deep into educating myself even in a deeper way than before. And the one who have I become through this, and you know, the spaces that I can hold through this are deeper than ever before. And this is what I desire for more professionals, coaches on the market, because this is how we can really make big shifts together in this world. So you know, and the self practices are a really important tool for you also to feel confident to basically, you know, share and support others in a way that you know how it feels in your body, and you know it works. So there will be 3 models, and the first model will be the self-exploration. So we will have practices that you're going to do, so you know, really develop your own practice. You practice the tools that you're going to share with your clients, and you will have, we have a feminine embodiment theory, and also feminine embodiment life practices and rituals. And we will have live calls where you receive coaching from me, and where you will be watching, you know, how I coach, and learn through that. In the second module, so each module will be 4 to 6 weeks, and then we have a moment of integration in between. In the second module, it will be all about practice. So we will continue with the workshops, feminine embodiment workshops and theory, and at the same time you will practice the tools that you learned and start coaching with other women in the space. And by that you can really learn and give each other feedback, and at the same time we come together where I will be available for questions and answers and really support you in finding the nuances and finding the confidence and guiding you in the deepest possible way I can. And the third model will be the refinement, and this will be all about you. Who are you? Who are you on your essence? What is your unique way? What are your gifts? How do you want to bring this work forward? How do you, you know, what means feminine embodied leadership? And it will be, you know, really the refinement of this. And as and you will also receive a one-on-one session with me. So this is the overview. This is the 3 models. Of course, as you know, this will be the first time I'm doing this, and the first rounds, like in many, you know, the first retreats or first programs or first trainings, there's always a massive blessing for all of us to receive, and at the same time, you know, we create, you know, I prepare, I bring in, and at the same time we're creating this together as we go, and that's the beauty about the first times. So I feel really, really excited about this. I want to speak to why I'm calling it Become a Feminine Embodiment Coach / Mentor, because I think both are equally important. In coaching, we ask questions, we are curious, we do have practices to guide our clients deeper into a specific topic. And coaching is not the space usually where we give our opinion or our embodied experience. However, I can see how both are very, very important, because as you practice, as you go along, as you deepen, you will have your own experience, and your own experience is really, really valuable. And sometimes it can give so much of an exhale and so much permission to hear from your coach, from the mentor. That's why both, that, you know, that it is okay where you are, that, you know, there is a wisdom, that that we as coaches have similar experiences, you know, and where you give more of your own experience and your own, the way you see this. And of course it's done in a way where the safety of your opinion and the way this is like being brought through is honored, right? It's not only you give your opinion without someone asked you. So I think it's really, really important. So the application process is open. We have 12 spots available. The women who are already registered for the waiting list are incredible. It's mainly women I know and that I've worked with before, so I know it's beautiful, powerful women who are gonna come into this space. And if you're feeling the call, if this inspires you, if that sparks something in you, then I would so much love to have you there. Feel free to reach out if there are any other questions. I've got some questions about the about the payment plan. So there are payment plans available up to 9 months. There are some special bonuses if you apply until the 30th of January. So this is the day of the goddess. And when your application is there, you will receive Awakened Women, my signature program, and Tantric Femininity, beautiful deep weekend retreat, and also a one-on-one session with me in this included. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope this gives you a good overview and gets you a good feeling of what that space will feel like and look like. So let me know if there are any questions. I feel so honored and so excited to do this. This is for me also a really big thing, you know. It's really to acknowledge the work I've been doing over the last 10 years and a continuation of that, where I see being more women involved in where we can really change the field, change the market, and really learn to coach from and to live our lives from this deep inner alignment to our bodies, to our feminine, and to, you know, invite more and more and more women into it, because I know it is the deepest healing and the deepest transformation that we're going to experience. Thank you.